I'm Carol Anne Riddell, and welcome to Arts in the City. We're here in Madison Square Park, where a new sculpture exhibit, Delirious Matter, is on display. We'll show you more of that in just a moment. But first, what can corporate America learn from classical music? More than you might expect. A unique program called the Music Paradigm uses a live professional orchestra to help organizations work together and find inspiration. Mike Gilliam shows us how.
It all starts with the music, but this is not an ordinary classical music concert.
Measure 66. That was the demonstration. Okay.
Maestro Roger Nierenberg is conducting something he created called the Music Paradigm.
Talk about that. Why did the cellos play so badly? Because you'll admit
Yes.
that was pretty bad.
It was
wasn't
bad. It took too long to start.
How did it feel to be working with a leader like that?
Very uncomfortable. You were not communicating to us, but to yourself, inside your mind, and we were left alone.
Music Paradigm is a learning experience for organizations in which the participants are seated inside a live symphony orchestra. I was looking for ways to build audience for symphonic music. I came to the understanding that a lot of the problems in my field basically came about as a result of the fact that we just don't have sufficient audience.
The maestro says he thought about who would be most likely to support his ambitions and felt it would be the community, and most likely business leaders. But he realized just talking about classical music would not draw people in. Knowing most are driven by their careers, he moved in that direction.
It's one of the most important things in their life. So I kind of made the subject about it, about their careers and how they and their organizations could become more successful. The purpose of that was in order to be able to get them to relax about the music and allow the music in. What I didn't anticipate was the feedback I got was, this was the most powerful session on leadership I've ever had.
So he went with it, allowing him to expose more and more people to classical music. He vividly remembers the moment he realized he had invented the music paradigm.
It dawned on me what this was and what it could be. And I started to laugh. I just laughed out loud at how bizarre it was and how effective it was and how powerful it was and what it could do, especially what it could do to transform music. I remember that moment.
He says it was like when a composer comes upon a melody and knows it's there. The music paradigm is all spontaneous. There's no script. The music helps to get to the core of leadership issues. Dr. Lauren Wossen works as a cardiac intensivist at New York Presbyterian Columbia Medical Center, where she instructs other doctors and takes care of patients in the critical cardiac care unit.
The insights that we gained by being immersed in the experience, by sitting among the musicians, by joining Roger Nierenberg on the stage, gave us such a great appreciation for the lessons he was teaching. I don't think we could have anticipated how it would feel, and that really brought the experience home.
This section on micromanagement seems to resonate with most.
I don't say I'm going to be a micromanager, but I say something like that, like, I can control this orchestra. I know how to, and I will. Something like that.
So talk about what it's like playing for the orchestra with this conductor.
You're micromanaging everything, essentially. So you're doing too much, and it's actually very distracting.
Don't you want a conductor who knows all the details of the whole operation and understands how it all fits together?
There's a difference between knowing that and then trusting that that's going to happen. You don't have to necessarily stake your claim in every single aspect of the orchestra.
He poses a question. Suppose I said to you, I worked hard. know all the parts, and I just want to make sure it's right.
Because you're trying too hard, it sort of chokes us in what we're able to do.
It's a very real feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And describe just exactly how nauseating it is. Yeah.
If we had a conductor that was like that every single time that we came to rehearsal was dictating every single thing that we were doing, we would, as artists, we would just feel completely demoralized.
The more angry they are, the more resentment they're going to show. And the more likely it is that whatever micromanagers are there in the audience, you know, they're going to hear what people are saying about them behind their backs, but will never say to them. Probably nobody confronts them about that behavior so directly.
That's just one of many lessons. There's a takeaway the maestro hopes all participants have.
That they have an insight, that they understand it, that they will take care of it. It's so much more powerful than somebody telling them what the insight is and what to do with it.
The maestro doesn't do sessions for the general public, but you can learn more by visiting the Music Paradigm website. He also blogs, and he's written a book entitled Maestro. I'm Mike Gilliam for Arts in the City.
Next stop, backstage. Some of New York's most talented young actors get their training at a theater group called, appropriately enough, Tada. The program introduces thousands of children to the power of theater and even produces some big-name stars. Donna Hanover has more.
That's okay, that's okay.
Theater exercises like this are often the way rehearsals start at Tada Theater Company.
It helps you think, because if you have to improvise a scene, it'll really help you.
The actors at Tada are elementary to high school age, and they love this place, which Nina Trevins, a professional stage manager, founded over 30 years ago for young performers to do musical theater.
I think what musical theater does is you learn about collaboration. You have a musical director, a choreographer, a director, the cast, you have a composer, a lyricist. It's all these people working together, and the actors, the kids, the performers, are getting an experience that they can't get somewhere else. You don't get it in a play. You don't get the going into song and releasing the emotion and having it all be so big.
Alums of Tada include Kerry Washington from TV's Scandal, Ms. Peck of Night at the Museum, Ricardo Zayas, who was in Hamilton, Ricky Lake, who starred in Hairspray, and Amar Ramasar, principal dancer with the New York City Ballet and a star of Carousel on Broadway. Of special pride is alum Jordan Peele, who is even on Tada's board and who just won an Oscar for screenwriting for Get Out.
He is the sweetest person. So he's really deserving in so many ways.
We were able to take an improv class with him, which is really fun, and it was really good to get tips from him.
The ensemble, which has about 80 members from all over New York City and New Jersey, puts on about 3 shows a year, and thousands of people see them. Tada does original musicals rather than old standards like Les Mis or Guys and Dolls because they want kids to play kids, not adults. They even avoid well-known shows with child roles.
If you do an Annie that's been done so many times, they're imitating what they've seen. With our shows, they create it because no one did it before.
We caught a rehearsal where they were just getting started on a new show.
You want to show yourself as well as everybody else that you are just as smart as these guys. So you have to have that as part of the motivation.
Tada also gives classes in schools and has after-school programs and camps. The website for more information is tadatheater.com. Tada alums have gone on to great success in fields other than acting, including medicine, the military, aerospace engineering, and more. That's no surprise because Tada works to help kids expand their horizons. They've performed at festivals and in England, and a few years back they even received an award at the White House. Christina Franklin was a young ensemble member when she made that trip.
I believe that was also my sophomore year in high school, and It was a fantastic experience. It was my first time, I think it was my first time in Washington, D.C., and we got a little tour of the White House. We met Laura Bush. We got some great pictures, and it was really, really fantastic to be there.
Christina's now a writer, and she's also a director at Tada.
I like directing here because I see myself in the current ensemble. I grew up here. I performed for just about 10 years here. Middle school was a very hard time for me. So I remember saying to myself, just get through the school day and get to rehearsal. I know how important these shows are to them. So I can see that when they come in, you can tell if they had a bad day at school. So I like doing and using as many tools as possible to uplift them.
Being in the ensemble at Tada is free, and the auditions are designed to make sure that kids of all backgrounds can get in.
Our audition is more like a mini workshop. So they don't have to prepare anything before. It's not based on who can prepare the most. Not because if you have more money, you can take more classes and be ready for an audition.
For some of the actors, it's a family tradition.
My mom was in the ensemble when she was little, actually.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And does she have great memories of it?
Yeah, she does.
And one of our most artistic and creative video editors at Arts in the City, Julian Amaro, happens to be a Tada alum. With much good humor, he joined in with some current Tada actors.
Goofy is great in a place like this. I thank my parents for introducing me to this place. You know, they brought me to some plays when I was maybe 5, 6, 7 years old. And that was when I first saw the productions here and what they had, and I loved them. It worked out for me in my life to always stay driven and committed to arts.
As for the kids at Tada now,
not only do I get the chance to perform and get training for free, but I also get friends that I'll have for forever.
And I love being here. I love being in the shows with all my friends, and yeah, it's something I love to do.
My mom found Tada on a site, and then we went and we saw a play, and I was like, wow, there's so many kids in that one. And I'm like, I want to be one of those kids.
the kids here at Tada have something they want you to know. This is a place they feel safe and exuberant, and their shows are top-notch. I'm Donna Hanover for Arts in the City.
Tada's current show is Golly Gee Whiz, a tribute to the Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney musicals of the 30s and 40s. It runs through August 2nd. We are back with Book It, and we've got a great summer read for you. I sat down with author Stephen McCauley at the bustling Barnes & Noble in Tribeca to talk about his novel, My Ex-Life. The book had me laughing out loud, and so did Stephen. Stephen, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
Thank you for having me.
So your book is called My Ex-Life. That's a very clever title. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Can you summarize the plot for us briefly?
Sure. Very briefly, it's about a previously married couple who reconnects 30 years after they were divorced at a moment of crisis in each of their lives. And things are very different now for each of them. The husband is gay, and the wife has remarried, and she has a teenage daughter. And they reconnect around the bond of their friendship rather than their romantic attraction to each other.
What inspired the plot of the book?
I've always been drawn to this idea of people reconnecting with someone they knew earlier in their lives.
You tell the story from a couple of different perspectives. We hear from David, and then we hear from Julie, his ex-wife, but then also from Mandy,
Right.
Julie's daughter. So why did you choose to tell the story that way?
I originally began writing the story in the first person from David's point of view, and I quickly realized that it was too claustrophobic and that I was more interested in finding out what was going on in some of the other characters' heads.
I found some of the more minor characters in the book to be really hilarious. David's friend, Julie's neighbor.
Right.
Is it easier in a way to make the more minor characters really funny because we only see them as readers in a way that's a little more one-dimensional?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. And I think, for me, it's like minor characters are kind of like people you have casual sex with, not that I'm assuming anything, but just that, that you only need to know so much about them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't need to know like what their relationship with their parents was like, or where they went to summer camp, or any of that. You can just focus on one aspect of their character. And I feel as if, I'm sort of a minor character, even in my own life.
How so?
People always say, "Oh, were you there?" As if they don't remember me.
There are some hilarious one-liners in the book. You must be so much fun at a cocktail party.
I'm no fun at a cocktail party.
I don't believe it.
I'm very introverted. I don't drink. I'm horrible at a cocktail party.
Okay, well, do you have any one-liners in the book that are absolutely your favorites?
There are a few that I really like, but I sort of feel like when you talk about like, oh, these are my favorite one-liners, then they're not funny anymore. But I think that my intention is with the one-liners is to write something that is funny, but also feels like it's true. It has some insight into the way people are and the way they behave. I am incapable of writing at home, even though I have a very nice study. And I've bought a little studio apartment not far from where I live to use as a writing studio, and I can't write there. So I have to write in a public place, like a library or a cafe or something. Yeah, where there's activity around me, so that the sense of isolation isn't as great.
I understand that this is your first book out in 8 years, is that right?
That's true, yes.
So why that length of time? Any particular reason?
I got behind in my laundry. I don't know. One of the things I did is I wrote 2 novels that were published under a pseudonym in between that book and this one. But I think when I finished my 6th book, I kind of felt as if I was at the end of some project, and it took me a little while to figure out what the next one was.
One of your books, The Object of My Affection, was made into a movie with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. I mean, that is very cool. What was that like?
It was very cool. It took 11 years to get made.
Wow.
So by the time it came out, I had practically forgotten what the book was about, which is a good thing because the movie is so very different from the book.
Would you like to see this one become a movie too?
Sure. I would love it.
Stephen, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed talking to you.
Well, I enjoyed talking to you. Thank you for reading my book.
The movie Adrift is based on a riveting true story of survival. In this month's Talking Movies, Neil Rosen sits down with the star of the film, Shailene Woodley. You'll also remember her from the HBO hit Big Little Lies. So, grab your popcorn and get comfortable.
Hurricane Raymond has taken an unexpected turn and has been upgraded to a Category 5.
We need to make sure everything's secure.
Don't worry.
Based on a true story, Adrift stars Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin as a young couple who, having set sail from Tahiti to California, get caught in one of the strongest hurricanes in recorded history. In the aftermath of the perilous storm, their boat is in ruins, both of Claflin's legs are shattered, and they're stuck in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Is anybody there? Please let me up. Our boat is sinking.
With no communications, it's up to Woodley to somehow get them to safety and save them both.
We're thousands of miles from land. We're not in any flight paths.
How many hours a day were they throwing water on you? And was it cold water, or did they at least make it room temperature?
Well, we filmed most of the, over 90% of the movie on the open water, and we were outside of Fiji, so the water was quite warm. But for the large storm sequences, we were using a green screen, and we were filming in Auckland, New Zealand, in the middle of winter. And in order to eliminate any steam that may come from the water that was being dumped on us, it pretty much had to be ice cold.
So how did you handle that? I mean, how many hours a day was this?
We had an amazing wardrobe costume team who were just so attentive and helpful with warm water bottles and warm shower heads. And we got very lucky to have people who really cared for
Yeah,
the
I
cold that we
remember,
were
I
experiencing.
think I had like 8 versions of the same costume.
People who watch movies don't realize that there's numerous takes for every scene. So how do you keep up that level of intensity and hysteria when the hurricane comes?
When the hurricane is approaching, I think it was so helpful to have each other because it is most of the scenes where the hurricane is approaching, we were using green screen, and when you're using green screen, there's an element of pretending that there's not when you're actually working on the real ocean or in an outdoor landscape. So I think we really kind of fed off of each other, and every time he raised this, like he would scream, it reminded me that I needed to be more committed in a certain way.
It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna take care of you.
Sam, your character becomes injured and then incapacitated during the movie. Was it tough to play an injured guy who just basically has to lie there?
Well, for me, I think that was one of the draws. Getting the opportunity to lay on the back of a boat in Fiji was massively attractive to me. It was frustrating a lot of the time to kind of watch Shailene swimming in the ocean, doing all the hard work, and kind of just having to lay there and watch. It was difficult. It really pained me.
I have to say, like what you did, I think was, I don't know anyone who could experience pain, but act the act of experiencing pain in the way that you did. I mean, it was.
I was in pain.
My ribs are broken. My legs shattered. I'm dead weight.
Shailene, this is based on a true story, so how helpful was the real Tammy Oldham when you were making the film?
Yeah, she was. So the movie's based on a book that she wrote, and she said she'd been waiting 34 years for this moment to happen. She's always wanted to see a film made of her story. She was very helpful and willing to answer any questions that we had, from benign things like what she used to wear in the 80s and how she used to talk, to what she liked to drink, to the more serious, the deeper notions.
So this movie takes place on the high seas, and Shailene, you're an environmental activist, so what are we going to do about the environment? They're repealing all these protections that have been in place for many years.
Nothing's going to change with one person. It really is going to take everyone, not just speaking about it and asking questions, but really switching up our lifestyles to make a change, because if you're not uncomfortable, then things aren't probably going to shift. So we got to figure out small ways within each of our lives to make a little bit of an adjustment in order to make a big difference.
I mean, I think what's great is that people are asking these questions and people are talking about it more and more. And what's great is that there's more accessibility to information with the internet being what it is. So I think it's moving in the right direction, but it needs to move faster, I think, before we're all, punished for it, basically.
Hi. So good to see you. You look adorable.
Thank you so much. This is Jane Chapman. She's new here.
Hi. Welcome, Renata Klein.
Thank you.
Next up for Shailene Woodley is the second season of the acclaimed HBO series, Big Little Lies. Is it fun working with Meryl Streep for the second season of Big Little Lies, since she's a new addition to the cast?
Absolutely, of course, in every way.
Bon voyage, lovers!
With Shailene Woodley and Sam Claflin, for Arts in the City, I'm Neil Rosen.
It's a live show, it's a podcast, and it's chock full of A-list celebrities. Barry Mitchell gets us a front row seat to the critically acclaimed Employee of the Month.
How would you like to be Employee of the Month?
Before you head out of the Daily Show, we got a couple things here. This
Sure,
is
a folder.
a COBRA form for health insurance, for your health insurance.
Are you in Human Resources?
Meet the hilarious Catie Lazarus, creator of
Employee of the Month is a live talk show, and it's recorded for podcast, so you can either listen to it or come to a live taping. And it's all about work, ostensibly, but it really is a fun night out where you get to hear from celebrities or even a former pickpocket about their careers.
Go see these people. They'll brush you up, teach you how to be a real pickpocket, because you're at the beginner stage.
My show is pretty unique in that the interviews are more in depth than most of the late night comedy shows, and at the same time, light and fun.
Let's talk about the F word a little bit. It's one of your favorites.
You know, there was a song called "A.B. Baby, the Emancipator of the Slaves." Remember that?
I was just talking about the other F word, feminism, but...
Catie grew up in Washington, D.C. and attended Wesleyan University in Connecticut.
I was studying for a doctorate in clinical psych. I got my master's in it.
My boyfriend forgot my birthday. What's your birthday? My birthday is jelly beans.
Your birthday is jelly beans? I didn't think it was possible to pursue two things at the same time. And so I dropped out of my doctorate to do comedy, and the rest is history. I don't know if I want locally grown kale. I live in Crown Heights.
I got a therapy dog.
Don't you already have a dog?
I got a therapy dog for my therapy dog. It's just too much to put on one dog. I try to interview people who I either admire or I don't know about but would like to.
Catie's been hosting Employee of the Month at various venues around the city for 9 years. Among the guests at the show we attended, actress Martha Plimpton and singer Lucy Wainwright Roche performing a Bruce Springsteen classic.
Everybody's got a hungry heart. I can't hear you.
And America's foremost Donald Trump impersonator, Anthony Atamanuik.
Unity is not just a tremendously talented stripper at Scores. Unity is also a concept I've been told I'm supposed to care about.
Trump is a result of us. We got the president we deserved because we stayed shelled in a bubble. We didn't believe it was possible. We have an intractable difference with part of this country that we do not want to deal with or resolve.
It is a thrill to be able to interview people at all different points of their careers. I've had emerging, actors and poets. Tonight, the show you came to, someone got their first big break in their 40s, and they have the show on Comedy Central. But before that, you might not have known about him, even though he was just as talented and just as terrific an actor and comedian.
To find out more about upcoming live shows, go to employeeofthemonthshow.com or download the latest episode from iTunes.
Employee of the Month will always have its home in New York as long as I can afford it.
Barry Mitchell, Arts in the City.
And that is our show for today. Thanks so much for joining us. Remember, you can find us online whenever you need your New York City arts and culture fix. I'm Carol Anne Riddell. We'll see you next time on Arts in the City.